dear students, and welcome to class. As we talk about the curriculum in our previous discussions, outcome-based education was always brought up. So why do we hear a lot of educators talking about OBE? Outcome-based education, or OBE, became the fundamental philosophy of the basic education programs in the Philippines lately. And this lesson will give you the opportunity to understand what OBE is all about. So according to Spady 1994, outcome-based education means clearly focusing on organizing everything in an educational system around what is essential for all the students to be able to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences.
So these are the questions that can be answered in this video. The first question is, what do we want the students to learn? Second, why do we want students to learn these things? Third, how can we best help students to learn these things? And the last one, how will you know when the students have learned? Spady premised that in outcome-based education, all students can learn and succeed, but not at the same time or in the same way. Then, successful learning promotes even more successful learning. And schools and teachers control the conditions that will determine if the students are successful in school learning.
Now let's proceed to the principles of outcome-based education. There are four basic principles of OBE. We have clarity of focus, designing backward, expanded opportunities, and high expectations. So the first principle is clarity of focus. It means that everything teachers do must be clearly focused on what they want the students to know, understand, and be able to do. In other words, teachers should focus on helping the students to develop the skills, knowledge, and personalities that will enable them to achieve the intended outcomes that have been clearly articulated. So basically, this principle emphasizes the importance of setting clear and specific learning goals and standards for students. For example, a math teacher might set a learning goal for students to be able to solve algebraic equations with variables on both sides. The second principle is designing backward. It means that the curriculum design must start with a clear definition of the intended outcomes that students are to achieve by the end of the program. Once this has been done, all instructional decisions are then made to ensure achieve the desired end result. This principle encourages teachers to start by identifying the desired learning outcomes and then designing instructions and assessments that will help students to achieve those outcomes. For example, a science teacher might identify the desired outcome of students being able to design and conduct a scientific experiment, and then design a lab activity and assessments that will help students achieve that outcome. The third principle is expanded opportunities. Teachers must strive to provide expanded opportunities for all students. This principle is based on the idea that not all learners can learn the same thing in the same way and in the same time. However, most students can achieve high standards if they are given appropriate opportunities. This principle focuses on providing students with a variety of learning opportunities and experiences that cater to their individual needs and interests. For example, an English teacher might provide students with choices in what books they read, or allow them to write about topics that are personally meaningful to them. The fourth principle is high expectations. It means that teachers should establish high challenging standards of performance in order to encourage students to engage deeply in what they are learning. Helping students to achieve high standards is linked very closely with the idea that successful learning promotes more successful learning. This principle emphasizes the importance of setting high standards for student learning and achievement, and holding students accountable for their own work. For example, a social studies teacher might hold the students to a high standard of critical analysis in their written work.